Hello, my name is Mederic and this is a message from Med. In the previous video, we learned how David extended his kingdom in all directions using military force and diplomatic prowess. David also established his government to maintain order in the country. In this video, David searches for any remaining relatives of Jonathan so that he can show Jonathan kindness through his relatives, according to the pact he made with him when Jonathan was still alive. We will discuss the theme of friendship, and I hope that you can learn from David's example and apply it to your life. David asked one day, "Is there still anyone left of the house of Saul that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?" David's servants called for Ziba, who had served Saul's family, and he told them that Jonathan had been survived by a son, Mephibosheth, who was crippled in his feet. Ziba also stated that Mephibosheth was located in northern Israel in a town called Lodebar, and he was staying in the house of Machir, the son of Ammiel. David sent for him, and when Mephibosheth arrived, he fell on his face and paid homage. "Behold, I am your servant." David said, "Do not fear, for I will show you kindness for the sake of your father Jonathan, and I will restore to you all the land of Saul your father, and you shall eat at my table always." Mephibosheth replied, "What is your servant that you should show regard for a dead dog such as I?" David then told Ziba that he and his house would be responsible for tilling Mephibosheth's land and bringing the produce therein. Ziba, who had 15 sons and 20 servants, said, "According to all that my lord the king commands his servant, so will your servant do." From that point forward, Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem and ate at the king's table, and Ziba and his family served the rest of Mephibosheth's family. This passage makes no mention of Mephibosheth's wife, but it does state that he had a son named Micah, so Ziba most likely was in charge of caring for him. When David began to serve King Saul, he and Jonathan became close friends. Jonathan even gave him his robe, his armor, his sword, his bow, and his belt. When Saul tried to kill David, Jonathan protected him and helped him escape from Saul. Furthermore, he said the following to David, "May the Lord be with you, as he has been with my father. If I am still alive, show me the steadfast love of the Lord, that I may not die. And do not cut off your steadfast love from my house forever, when the Lord cuts off every one of the enemies of David from the face of the earth." Unfortunately, Jonathan died in the battlefield with his father and his brothers, but David wanted to know if Jonathan had any remaining relatives. Fortunately, Mephibosheth remained. Mephibosheth was Jonathan's son, who was only 5 years old when his father died. His nurse had fled when she learned of Jonathan's death, but he fell as they escaped and became lame. When David knew that Jonathan's son was still alive, he sent for him. He not only restored him his father's lands, he also made him an honored guest at his palace. When Solomon wrote the book of Proverbs, he said, "A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." We decide those who become our friends, so we must seek and develop good and healthy friendships. Good friendships increase our feeling of belonging and purpose. Through good friendships, we will enjoy greater levels of happiness, self-confidence, and self-worth. Moreover, good friends will help us get through traumatic times and help us end bad habits. In the end, good friendships help us to reduce stress. We also decide what type of friends we will be toward others. If you want to be a good friend, you can take note of David and Jonathan's friendship. Jonathan protected David in times of trouble, and David fulfilled his promise to Jonathan even after his death. Thank you. God bless.